peeps, welcome to Car Diaries episode 8 I think. Just gone 9 in the morning, just left the gym, nice early session today just because I'm flying out the country this afternoon and I thought let's just quickly get in a gym session. I smashed the gym today, like smashed it to pieces. You know when fighters say I'm in the best shape of my life and they're in like their late 30s, some early 40s, and we kind of laugh at it? I get what they mean. I kind of understand it a little bit. I think what they mean is that they now fully understand their bodies, right? They know what's good for them in terms of food and diet. They know about sleep patterns a bit more. And these are things that I feel like I understand about my body now, which is probably why I feel healthier now at 44 than I did, I don't know, in my 20s. I'm not saying I'm stronger and fitter because I don't think those things are true, but I'm definitely healthier. So I get it when fighters think that they are sort of fitter and better, because what they've probably cut out is all this shit. Like in my 20s, as much as I was going gym, I was eating bad, like really bad. And even food that I thought was good, I didn't realize until later years was actually bad. So even when I thought I was eating healthy, I wasn't. And also, compared to now, I used to probably go out 2-3 times a week. You know, like I guess like most people that do 9 to 5s, I used to, go out on Fridays after work sometimes, go out on a Saturday, and maybe even a liquid lunch, right? Whereas now, I probably go out once a month. And yeah, I drink that once a month, but it's only once a month compared to what it was before. And I feel like some fighters are like that. I feel like fighters in their teens and early 20s, I know fighters like a drink. Whereas guys now, fighters in their 30s have cut out all that crap. So again, I can kind of understand what they mean when they say they're healthier. We've had some interesting news in the boxing world in the last few days. It looks like Fabio Wardley, Jarrell Miller is off, which is super disappointing. Not quite sure the reason yet. I don't know if we're ever going to know the reason. I'm guessing it's Dimitri Salita. Obviously, Jarrell Miller was supposed to fight Derek Chisora, and that got blocked by Salita. So I'm guessing this one has also been blocked, which is silly because surely they would have known about this Salita problem prior to doing the press conference and flying Jarrell Miller over and announcing it. So now it's just eggs on everyone's face. I don't know who they're going to get to replace him, because this is a stadium fight. I mean, if this was an arena fight, 12 or 13,000, I mean, there are so many people you can get because the ticket seller is going to be Fabio Wardley. But with a stadium that I think is around 30, and you want to get at least 25 in there to make it, who are you going to get? What are the options? My number one pick would be Andy Ruiz, but I just don't think that's possible. My second pick would be Lawrence Okoli. My third pick would probably be Michael Hunter, but you weigh up the risk reward of Michael Hunter. Like Michael Hunter, unfortunately at the moment isn't as big a name as he once was. So Queensbury have got a lot of thinking to do. I don't know if they've already paid for Portman Road. I don't know how these things work. Do they cut their losses and go to an arena like the Co-op Live, right, where the capacity is like 23,000, but if you get half of that in there and you black out a lot of the seats, it still looks pretty busy. God damn, there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of traffic and your boys got a lot to do today. So they're going to have to think about what they do. Usyk Dubois tickets went on sale yesterday. I think it will surprise people, the numbers that does. I think there's a real feel-good factor around boxing right now in this country. And I think people will just tune in and go there just to kind of be involved in a big boxing event. And bear in mind as well, July, there's no big major tournament in this country. Like there's no big football tournament. Obviously there's the Club World Cup in America, but over here there isn't anything. So people might just want a day out just to enjoy some sport. So I think the tickets will surprise us. Fury looks like he's coming back. I don't know. All this like retiring, then I'm coming back, retiring, then I'm coming back. This is why when you retired, or when he said he retired after the Usyk lost, he didn't get his flowers. Like, no one was like, okay, we need to really, give Fury his flowers, and where does he lie in the pantheon of great heavyweights or great fighters. None of us did that, because this guy says it all the time. And it's not just him, boxers are like that in general. But, I mean, if AJ said he's retiring, if AJ came out of a statement and said, you know what, guys, it's been a great run, I think we would believe him, because he's never said that before. But Fury, I think, honestly, said it about 5 or 6 times. And it gets to the point where it becomes quite boring. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's he going to do. I mean, I know what I want him to do, but I don't know what he's going to do. All right. I got, I think on the first Car Diaries, I spoke about living in a homeless hostel. And I got so many messages, emails, even phone calls from people that I work with now that didn't know about that. And a lot of you have asked for more information. Ade, tell us a bit more about the homeless hostel. So here we go. I'm more than happy. You know what it is? By the way, I'm more than happy to talk the talk and tell my story. Like, I'm not one of those people that try and hide things. I'm more than happy. The ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly. I don't really, at this stage of my life and my age, I don't really give a fuck. All right, so let me tell you about the homeless hostel. It was called Focus E15. I don't know if it's still there. I don't know. It's about 5-10 minutes from my mum's house. So I've driven past it a few times, but I don't know if it's still a homeless hostel. But when I was there, it was called Focus E15. And when I say I was there, we're talking late 90s, early 2000s. So you guys know the story of me fucking up my A-levels. I laugh because it was so bad. I remember I remember going to the college to get the results, knowing I'd fucked up. Like, what's the point even going there? But anyway, got my A-level results. Mum wasn't too happy. I'm Nigerian. Those Nigerians amongst us that are watching this video right now, you know how important African parents think of education. It's like the most important thing, and rightly so. Education will take you a long way. So I got my A-level results, scared to tell my mum, told her, and that relationship cracked from there. It just wasn't great. So I would have been 18. I stayed around my parents' house. I want to get the timelines right here. I might be off a few months, maybe even a year. But I stayed around for another 6 or 7 months, but it had clearly deteriorated. Me and my mum were barely talking, and she wanted me out of the house. So at the time, what I did, my best friend at the time, Michael, was in the homeless hostel. Fucking hell, man. All my friends were homeless. My best friend, Michael, was in the homeless hostel. So I used to sneak in and stay with him. And when I say sneak in, I had to sneak in because the homeless hostel had like an office at the ground floor and a security guard. So only people, let me in, bus. No, thank you very much. That's okay. No, that's all right. Only people that were, living there were allowed to stay there. Like, you weren't allowed to have friends in this homeless hostel. So I had to sneak in, which I did. Eventually I got caught. I got caught sneaking in, and what happened? The security guard pulled me to the side and said that the people want to see you. And I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. And literally I said to them, look, I have nowhere to go. I'm homeless, I have nowhere to go. All my possessions are in this bag, basically. So they were very sympathetic. And there was a lady there, a black lady, who was almost like that kind of mum figure. She had a son my age, actually, or around my age. She was like, okay, this is what you need to do. You need to go to the council, say you're homeless, blah, blah, blah. We'll write you a letter to say that you've been here sleeping, you're not supposed to. Basically, she helped me. So I went to the council and just said, look, I'm homeless, I have nowhere to stay. And they put me in a smaller homeless hostel in an area called Plaistow, next to Plaistow Station. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was like a place, it was about 7 or 8 of us in there. Small, tiny box room, like a fucking jail cell. So I stayed there until there was a room available in Focus E15. So I probably stayed there for about a month. And then they called me and said, there's a room for you, Focus E15. And I've never been as excited about this thing. I mean, probably, to this day, probably the most exciting phone call I've ever had in my life. Like, oh my God, there's a room for me. So I got my own room. Focus E15 is 144 rooms. It was for boys and girls aged 18 to 24. I think I've said this before. It was like, obviously, those that are homeless, those that have come out of jail. I even think those, could be wrong here, I think there was a small portion of people with learning difficulties. So anyway, I got my room. It was room 97, flat. I was on the 4th floor, room 97, and I was buzzing. I had my own toilet. It was exciting times, I can't lie. It was exciting times. I was only, what was I at the time? I'm gonna say I was 19. So I had freedom. I felt like, for me, it was like a 1-bedroom flat. I didn't look at it like a homeless hostel. For me, it was like I got my own 1-bedroom flat in this place, and I would never been excited to have my own space. But that's kind of where the fun stopped for a little while. That place was very, you had to be about it, if that makes any sense. Like, you had to be, you couldn't show that you were weak, because again, it was a place that had a lot of people that were a bit naughty, people that are struggling. So they see you with any type of money, and say, I remember I bought a TV, and I just kind of wheeled it through the front door. Don't ask where I got the money from to buy the TV. But anyway, and I remember the security guard saying, look, you got to be careful. People have seen that you've got a TV. So it was that kind of place, right? Where people will kick your door down and try and steal your shit. So you had to be about your wits. So that kind of hardened me a lot. So then what you would do, you would go down once a week to see your caseworker. So you'd speak to your caseworker. Are you looking for work? What are you doing? You do a couple of lessons. Like, they have like these lessons that you had to do. And basically you had to do one of those lessons a week just to tick it off. Like, I've done that lesson on just sort of people skills. So I'd tick off that I did people skills. And then, so it was split into 2 sections. If you do well enough for the first 8 months, you basically go up to the higher, the bigger flats, not bigger flats, but higher level flats, like higher floors. I didn't do well. I wasn't taking it serious at all. I was just having fun, drinking, girls, partying, doing bullshit. Like, I honestly, off the rails, didn't care. But then I realized, okay, look, you can get a flat out of this. So I tried to knuckle down a little bit, but then I was just surrounded by bad people. And I wasn't great myself. Let me not pretend that I was some fucking, great guy. I wasn't at all. But I was surrounded by people that were just so negative and bad and going through shit. So we just didn't care about the idea of getting a flat. We were happy in this hostel, but we loved it. But then I met a girl called Rose, and she was in the hostel, and I remember looking at her thinking, you don't need to be in this hostel, Rose. Like, I'm sorry, she had a nice, I remember Rose had a Golf R32. For those car enthusiasts, that's a proper Golf. I remember we used to always look at her like, what the fuck's this girl doing in this hostel? So she kind of sat me down. I got close with her. She sat me down and she was like, look, you can get a flat out of this hostel. Like, if you just knuckle down, you can get a flat. They're giving people council flats if they feel like you are able and capable of looking after it. And right now, they're not going to give you one. They're going to kick you out soon. And where are you going to go? You're going to sleep rough again. So that's when I started knuckling down a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. I started to try and pay rent because you had to pay like, this is going to sound really fucking stupid, but I was signing on. I was getting my JSA every couple of weeks. I think rent was like £8 a week. I weren't even paying that. Oh, it's a disgrace. I weren't even paying that. But anyway, long story short, I kind of got my shit together, like started paying rent, and then they said to me that they think I'm capable of like looking after my own council flat. And I was like, yeah, I am. So I had to do like 6 or 7 interviews. I had to do, what was it called again? Where they check your crime record, CB, I can't remember what it's called, just to make sure I've got no criminal record. They would do sweeps of your room every 2 weeks. So they'd sweep your room for drugs, guns, knives, people staying there. So they did that to me. Like, they did room sweeps for me for like, I'm gonna say 6 months. And my room had to be perfect. Like, there was a way where we used to steal electricity. Like, fucking hell, boy. Fun times. There was a way, someone found out there was a way you could put like a bit of like hanger wire into your electricity like plug point, and electricity was free. But then it kind of wasn't, because once you took out the wire, it would say that you're in debt of like £500. But again, we didn't give a shit. So I had to make sure that I paid that debt back, make sure no electricity wire, make sure again, no knives, no drugs, no fraudulent activity. So looking for things like credit cards, and basically you had to make sure you were clean as a whistle. And I was for about 7-8 months. I made sure that, okay, I'm serious now. I'd been in the hostel for, I want to say 3.5 years. I know, it's crazy, right? And then I did my interview with Focus E15 and Newham Council, and they gave me a flat in Stratford. I got a flat in Stratford, and yeah, man, it was crazy. I remember actually when I got the flat in Stratford, bear in mind, you know, I moved to Stratford from Brighton in like 1988, 9. So when I got a flat in Stratford, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, not Stratford. Like, I've been in Stratford all my life. I didn't want to be in Stratford again. I wanted a flat outside of Stratford. But I got the flat in Stratford. I was very excited. And fast forward, I don't know, I got the flat in, oh my God, I want to say I got the flat in 2004. So apologies if I've got my dates mixed up here, but I got the flat in 2004. I've still got the flat now. And yeah, fast forward 5 years after having the flat, I think, or 4 years, it got confirmed that Stratford had won the bid to host the Olympics. And my God, my flat valuation went up and up and up and up. And then a few years later, I was lucky enough to buy the flat. And it's weird how it works, right? Like, I bought the flat, a flat that I didn't want, I bought it, the valuation skyrocketed, and now I've got someone in there that rents it from me. So yeah, the Lord works in mysterious ways. But that homeless hostel period was, I ain't gonna lie, it was fun. Someone always says, Ade, what period in your life would you go back to? And I think I would go back to that for a year. No, actually 5 months. Because I was surrounded by people that we were all struggling together. Sorry, the car is getting mighty close to other cars. We were all struggling together, all of us. Like, no one had money. You'd find a way to make a bit of money here, little wheeling and dealing. Things, I'm not saying were great, but it is what it is. Back then, you had to find a way. And I found a way and met some good people. Some people, unfortunately, have fallen by the wayside. Some people, really unfortunately, have passed away. Some are in jail. You know, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You let me go, I don't know what we're doing. Some people have passed away. Some people are in jail. I still speak to a few people. And what I will say is that I see, like, when I go back to Stratford, I see quite a few people from that time, and they're all so, like, supportive and happy about what I've done and what I've gone on to achieve. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And like, I respect them for that so much, man. Because we didn't have it easy. Like, none of us had a easy start to life. And I'm sure there are people on here that didn't have an easy start to life. But, you know, sometimes you've just got to fucking find a way, man. You know, I know it sounds a bit blunt. Like, it's not that easy out there. And you're right, it isn't. But sometimes you've just got to find a way. And your boy Ade somehow has found a way. All right, let me not curve my wheels here. Sorry, I'm looking at the camera just to make sure this park is perfect, because this car's having to stay here for like 4 days. Oh, don't curve. You know that noise when you know you're going to curve? It's like, ugh. Anyway, guys, that's it. This episode is available to everyone, not just members. So make sure you share it, like it, leave a comment as well. The hardships that you guys have had to go through, that you've gone through, that continually look back on, but they don't define who you are. They make you stronger, but they don't define who you are. Very quickly before we wrap, let me turn off this car. Before we wrap, I fasted recently. What's today? Today's Thursday. I fasted on Tuesday for 24 hours, called coconut water fast. I was going to do 48, but I ended up doing 24. And obviously, look, there are so many health benefits to fasting. This isn't really what I want to get at. You guys can read up on it. I almost feel like when I do fast, for health reasons, I do feel like it resets everything for me. I feel like my body just gets a good MOT and feels healthy. But I fast for mental reasons. Like every time I feel like we're struggling a little bit mentally, I fast, because fasting tests me mentally. And it's hard, right? So I do it from a mental standpoint. And look, all of us are different, so I'm not going to say that you should fast. But if you are struggling, maybe not fast, but maybe just remove something. Like whatever you're so used to taking, eating, whatever, just remove it and just push yourself a bit mentally. And I guarantee you'll reap the benefits of it, of knowing that you've pushed yourself mentally. Once a week, maybe cut out some bullshit. So yeah, I thought I'd just tell you guys that I fasted, and at the moment I'm doing 1 meal a day. Again, not necessarily for the health benefits, because I do feel quite good, I feel quite healthy, but for the mental benefit of knowing that I'm having to push myself to fucking not order fried chicken and rice and peas and 1 dumpling and oxtail gravy. Ooh. Nah, not doing it. Peace out.